Everybody's here right now. We're good to get started.
Yes, I have clicked the recording button as well.
Cool. So, at the end, actually, hang on really quickly before we get started. I'm going to play an audio file, and I just want to make sure everybody can hear it because we need an audio file for the intro to this session.
Oh boy.
Okay, I heard that. That means everyone can hear that. Good.
Don't know if that's how that works, but let's go with that.
Well, you know what? Based on the nightmare system I have set up, it probably works like that, so I think we're good.
Ha,
One moment.
ha, they said base.
Well, I can't confirm I heard it.
Thank you
I heard
for
it as
making me
well.
feel slightly less crazy.
If I can hear it, it'll be on the recording, so.
Good. So, at the end of last session, after a violent confrontation with Sir Arthur Woodward during the brawl, who nearly killed Bayo with a poisoned dagger, Woodward was carried away for arrest and questioning by the guards of Fort Rose, and the brawl was waived as no contest. As you all move to assist him up, we're actually going to cut to your perspective really quickly, Bayo.
Dog.
As you laid on the ground, unconscious and bleeding out while poison ran through your body, you saw something in the darkness. You weren't out for long, just a few seconds, thanks to the actions of Theo, but while you were unconscious, you saw nothing but darkness at first, faintly hearing what was happening around you in the waking world, sounding like it was coming from far above. You floated as if in temperate water, but as you did, you got an unsettling feeling. Please roll a perception check for me.
Perception.
I should probably open D&D Beyond, shouldn't I? I'm such a good DM, you
12.
guys. 12. Okay.
They
You
has
hear
a plus 0.
You hear as you float from below you at first, before it begins to slowly surround you, a noise kind of foreign to you. It almost sounds like a low growl mixed with a pained moan. And as you hear it, you look around, but still you see nothing at first. Then, out of nowhere, an enormous red, piercing eye opens in front of your face, and you hear, reverberating through your skull painfully, the following. God, I really hope you hear this, because I spent like an hour working on it. And with that, you immediately wake up with a jolt.
Mm.
You heard that?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Fear.
With that, the rest of the party, you guys are all standing in or around the brawl pit as a hold person was cast on Arthur Woodward. He is now being lifted and carried off by town guards. What are you guys doing?
I'm with the dog because I am medical woman.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Right. You cast, what did you cast to heal Bayo? Do you remember?
I cast fucking hold on.
I just don't remember how many hit points Bayo had at the end of the session.
Well,
I should be able to tell you.
Yeah.
19 hit points.
Right. Yes. Okay. So Bayo, as you run over to Bayo, who you just cast a healing spell on, you watch as Bayo's eyes immediately like jolt open, and Bayo tries to like sit up. Bayo, you feel still extreme pain where you were stabbed.
Oi. Slow down there.
Ow. Could have aimed a little better. Fuck.
If you ain't better, you might be dead.
Give me one moment. So everybody else, as you are looking around, you see guards are carrying off Woodward. You also see that they are kind of putting out like yellow tape, like this is a crime scene, and they are setting everything up to be investigated. You see somebody comes out with like a thing of chalk to draw an outline around what they initially thought was Bayo's dead body, and then Bayo stood up and they went, "Oh, okay," and turned around and walked away.
Bayo is glaring at them.
doctors to show up to hopefully get Bayo to some
Yeah.
kind of medical station.
After a short moment, a few doctors show up with like a crude stretcher that, as you look at it, you look like this stretcher has been reinforced because it was not designed to carry someone in full armor.
Takes a lot more than that to kill me.
And they kind of carefully load Bayo into the stretcher and begin to carry him off. And you see, walking up to all of you guys, the rest of the party walking up to you guys.
I don't know about you. I'm following the fucking medical people because I was essentially the first responder.
The guard actually pulls you aside. You see, he walks up to you. This is like a maybe like 28-year-old kind of human, sort of messy 5 o'clock shadow and ratty kind of brown hair. Pulls you aside. Excuse me, miss. I'm very sorry. I need to speak with you and the other people that were involved in the brawl very briefly. You can be on your way in a moment. I just need to pull you all aside. With that, he pulls all the 4 of you aside and says, your friend is being taken to the hospital. My name is Constable Colton. I'm one of the guard captains here in town. We just need to pull you aside to let you know we're going to be taking you into the guardhouse at some point later tonight for questioning, just to, make sure we have everybody's account of what happened. You guys...
I already performed a preliminary diagnosis. It was a weird concoction, like 3 different poisons mixed together. I forget the effects. I know I found them out.
You back out of character. The first effect would have caused paralysis. The second would have caused silence. So Bayo would not have been able to speak. And the third effect, which is the one that Bayo got hit by, just dealt a fuck ton of damage.
Yeah. So there's a paralytic agent. There's a silencing agent, and then there's just a really, really bad neurotoxin.
That's good to know. I will make sure to let the medical officers know about that. We appreciate your input. Just to let you know, you have about 8 hours before we're going to pull you into questioning, because we have to, establish a timeline and all that before that. Don't leave the city. Other than that, you people have mostly free reign over the city. Are we clear?
All right. Yeah, of course.
Okay. Theo, you can go on your way, miss. Everybody else that was participating. Master Vermeer, you were not participating in the brawl, but you were a witness. Would you mind coming with us for questioning now?
Absolutely.
Perfect, thank you. The rest of you, you can visit your friend in the hospital. He shouldn't be there too long, I don't think, but Constable Colton gives you guys directions to the hospital as well as directions to the guardhouse and says, be here in 8 hours.
All right.
So with that, Constable Colton takes Vermeer aside. So Master Vermeer, very quickly, this won't take long. You were in the stands for this fight. You had an angle on Woodward. What did you see?
I saw him with some illegal daggers, it looked like.
You saw the daggers at his side?
I saw the daggers in the beginning. I did not know that they were poisoned from my viewpoint.
Okay. Can you do me a favor and just quickly recount the events of the fight as you saw them? Did you, who went down first? What specifically we're looking for? What happened when, with Woodward, what he was doing? He took down 3 combatants, counting your friend Bayo. Other than the fight with Bayo, did any of the other 2 look dirty to you?
Not from what I can remember. He did not use any of the daggers on the other 2, so...
Okay. Perfect. Thank you. And you were sitting, and he gestures to the sort of general area where you were sitting, and then you made your way over to the towards where the judges were. Was that to let them know about the daggers?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. If we need anything more, we will get in contact with you. I have my people. They'll know where you are. Thank you for your assistance, young Master Vermeer.
Thank you.
You can feel free to rejoin your friends or check up on Bayo in the hospital. It's up to you.
I'll probably just regroup with the group.
Okay. So, as the four of you regroup, you have basically free reign over the full city of Fort Rose. Those of you who participated in the brawl have not had any kind of rest in between then and now. So, any damage you took still applies. Bayo is being taken to the hospital. Bayo will cover what happens there really quickly in a moment.
I wanna, like, as soon as I can, go to the hospital.
Sure. Okay. The rest of you, do you want to go with Theo?
Yeah, sure.
Don't see why not.
Okay. You guys make your way to the hospital. It's hospital might be a strong word. It's more like kind of a hastily constructed medical tent that was set up for the tournament under the assumption that the worst they would be dealing with was like some blunt force trauma or maybe a misplaced gunshot that kind of like hit somebody in a limb. They are dealing with Bayo's injury the best they can with can I get from Fiona, Vamir, and from Theo, can I get Arcana checks?
Yup. Sure.
Ah, I know what most of these hit points are from.
14.
14 as well.
11,
14,
Sorry,
and
10.
11.
10.
Sorry? 10,
10.
okay.
Yeah.
14, 14, and 10, you can tell that they are doing a little bit of magical healing to kind of alleviate the pain, but other than that, they do not look like they have any sort of practicing miracle worker here to do the sort of instant healing that you saw Theo do in the arena. And other than that, they're basically just applying bandages and treating the wound.
For the record, Ian, most of those hit points, about 15 of them came from my own lands pool.
Ah, okay, that makes sense. I thought 19 sounded a little high. Okay.
Yeah, he just was like, nope, fuck that. And
Okay, good to know. Bayo, while you are sitting in the hospital, you see all of your friends and traveling companions kind of come up to you. You are laying in bed. You're not like in a cast and you're not immobile, but it does still hurt, although the pain is numbed a bit.
Bayo is like laying there holding where they've, put the bandages and done the work that they can. Kind of idly rubbing the pain. Thinking to himself, he looks like he's deep in thought, which is never good when the person deep in thought is a dog. He looks he has like a super serious like look on his face. He almost doesn't respond immediately.
What's Bayo thinking about right now?
I'm gonna be honest. He's thinking about. He is desperately trying to remember what the point, of the tournament, the brawl was, like what the reward for it was, because when he did that originally, it went in one ear and out the other, because he just was like, "Hey, fun battle royale." So
the winner of the brawl was given the opportunity to name a candidate for consideration for the next Pontifex.
yes, but Bayo is an idiot.
Okay, I'm just making sure. Because it occurred to me that it's been long enough that the others might not remember as well.
Yes, that's fine. Yeah, he's doing that. He's rubbing, thinking.
What you got there?
Theodora, a stab wound, and he like kind of puts his hand up. The blood shows the bloody bandages.
It looks a little rough.
Yeah, I can't say I'll ever get used to this. They made me take my armor off so they could deal with it.
I know you feel naked without it.
Ow, ow.
Hey, slow there.
What was the reward again? I can't get in my head why he would stab someone for it. I mean,
Well, consideration for the next Pontifex. which is
Was there someone specific he had in mind? I mean, to resort to cheating to win is never gonna be okay. Ow, 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 ow.
people do a lot of things for very little.
There had to be something in it for him, right?
Well, it could be anything from wanting to be the most powerful person in the known world himself to, well, being paid a shit ton of money to get someone else into that position.
Do the rest of you have any ideas? Maybe I'm just being stupid.
I mean, I can only imagine having, like they said, having a seat at the that which burns is probably very lucrative. So either they were doing it for selfish reasons, or maybe someone convinced them to.
Bayo kind of screws up his face. I don't understand what everyone's deal with power is anyway.
I'm
like-
with you on that one.
Well, people like control, so they want to have as much control over as many things as possible. There are a lot of reasons why people do this, but the long and short of it is that how do I put this? Don't worry about it too much, okay?
He
Not right now anyway.
he still looks grumpy and like turns away from the party, his head.
As he turns away, Bayo, the flaps on the little tent that Bayo is being treated in kind of open, and one of the doctors that has been working on your wounds kind of comes in and says, "Hey, Bayo, you doing any better?"
I mean, I'm not in as much pain, though I don't know how much your doctors have helped. Ow.
I mean, you're not actively dead, so I'm calling that a win. Oh, hi, everybody. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to intrude. I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
You're not. Did you come here
Cool.
for any specific reason?
I did, yeah. Really quickly, Bayo, as I'm sure you might have guessed, you're going to be needed at the guardhouse later tonight for questioning. You're free to check out at any time because at this point the doctors have kind of done everything they can to help you. So you can stay here and rest or check out anytime you like. It's up to you.
He
Just
kind of sighs and sits up, like, kind of wincing a little bit as he does, and he just
Okay.
says, "Give me my armor." Just
Your
give me...
armor-
No. You're not putting that back on yet.
Why?
Because I don't want your wounds to reopen and then have to pull your entire armor off so that I can stop you from bleeding out on me.
Your armor is actually not currently being held at the hospital. We've taken it to a blacksmith to clean it to make sure all the poison's gone.
See? Now, Bayo, how would you like if how many are we?
Uh,
5? We 5?
6, including Dale.
Cool. How about the 6 of us go and get ourselves some good food, hmm?
Kind of wibbles.
Can I like ruffle his like head fur? You know, like ruffle someone's hair?
He just wibbles a little more.
Come on, you big baby.
As long as you're buying me meat. Wibble.
Alright. We good to go?
Yeah, you guys are free to go whenever you want. Bayo, I will give you the you see he pulls out his notepad and writes in doctor handwriting, and then he scribbles it out because he realizes nobody can read it. And he writes in regular people handwriting the name and rough location of the blacksmith that your armor and weapons have been taken to.
So what you're telling me is that the way doctors write is like thieves can't.
Kind of.
Oh my god.
Medical camp.
Medical can. Medical can't fucking read their handwriting. More like, that was a bad joke. Anyway, Bayo takes the note.
If you want, we can also offer you a cane or some painkillers for the road.
I
and
can
if-
walk.
I don't know if you have other accommodations, but if you don't, you're free to stay here for the night.
He's grumpy and he's waving them off.
I understand. If any of you need anything else, feel free to let me know. He hands some contact information to everybody. If your condition gets worse, please come back quickly. And other than that, yeah, later.
So-
I'm gonna go have lunch.
One last question I actually have.
Yeah, what's up?
About the poison that was used. Do you have any idea what? I know its effects, but do you have any idea what? Who has something like this?
I don't know how to. Hang on. We're running tests to identify specifically what it is. And when we know specifically what it is, that'll help us narrow down where you would get it. As it stands, I'm really not sure where you would get something like
Alright.
this in Albanak. And Albanak is where I'm from, and I have never left Albanak. So
When you do figure something out, would it be too much trouble to ask you to contact me?
we're going to be getting in touch with the constables and the guards to let them know when we figure things out. We'll have them let you know.
All right. Just because I'm, you know, kind of these intelligent people's doctor, and I'd like to know about.
Are you saying I'm the stupid people's doctor?
No, I'm calling them stupid.
Fair.
I don't know whether or not that was in character, and I don't want to have to decide.
All right. Well, yeah, we will be in touch. Yeah, you guys are free to go. If you want a recommendation, Sleazy's down in the Gardens District has some great food.
Hmm. You guys wanna?
I mean, the name is Sleazy? Yeah, sure.
Bayo's tail just wags a little bit anytime anyone says the word food. And then, like, immediately stops because he realizes it started wagging.
Dude, same.
I think if we're all ready to go, then we could go there and get some food.
Sure. You guys leave the hospital tent. Bayo, you are hurting as you walk, but it's not like unbearable pain like it was the second you woke up or the second you went out. It's just sort of a dull, throbbing, slightly burning pain. You also give me a insight check really quick.
That is a 17? 17.
17. You are also feeling just in this tiny little pinprick spot at the nape of your neck. Ever since you woke up originally, you have felt this like searing hot pain in this tiny little spot.
Bayo looks visibly troubled, but he's not saying anything. It could just be pain, you don't.
I'm just gonna casually cast Cure Wounds on Bayo, seeing as maybe the doctors probably didn't do too much.
Sure, yeah. Bayo, from your hospital visit, you have regained 1 hit point.
Cool.
10 HP, so.
That's
Fucking more than
11
you
more
need.
than he had. Yeah, that's good. He's back to full health.
There you go. The pain is still present, but is rapidly subsiding as you feel almost as if someone has magically cast Cure Wounds on you.
Okay. I know this might not do anything. However,
Sorry, DM, does his searing in his
No,
neck?
that's still there.
Just checking. I think I
can
don't.
I cast Lesser Restoration on him?
Sure.
Eh.
Hang on, I need to read that spell.
Uh,
I've only ever used Greater Restoration, not Lesser.
I know. It probably won't do anything.
Let
you
me
know,
double
whatever.
check. The pain subsides, the searing pain subsides a bit, but is still, you can like, it's almost like an itch that won't go away now, actually.
You alright?
Just left over from the stab.
You sure? We still don't know what that was.
I mean, I'm not dying, am I?
Yet.
He walks a little faster.
That's menacing.
Like, she said that in a concerned voice.
Okay.
Hey, do you mind if I take a look at that?
The wound?
Yeah.
Can we not do this in public?
Look, I'm just worried.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah,
She has a pleading look on her face.
yeah. It's just I'm not gonna lift my shirt in public. You know what I mean? Can we find like an alleyway nearby?
Sure. Anybody is free to give me a perception check to perceive alley. Detect alley.
Detect alleyway. Someone roll a crit fail for me.
That's an 18. Do I detect alley?
Hang on, give me one moment. I gotta check the campaign.
I got 5, which if I had gotten 1 less, I would have gotten that one.
Oh damn! I rolled a 17. Isn't
That's
now
not
an alleyway?
Really
Oh,
sorry, but I
really?
have no idea what's happened in the past 40 minutes.
Oh, has it already been 40 minutes? Fuck.
We went to check on Bayo. Bayo is at least apparently okay-ish, is still in pain, and now we're off for food.
Okay.
So with a perception check of 5, Aiden kind of gets caught up in the like distinctions between alleyways and corridors and whether or not that's relevant to this kind of conversation. The rest of you immediately identify one of either an alleyway or a corridor. It doesn't really matter. And tuck in, and you see kind of this city is sort of like weirdly laid out in that there's not actually a ton of alleyways, and the only one that you guys are able to find is kind of like got kind of sitting in the corner. There's this like goblin sitting there sipping on a mostly empty bottle of booze. Going like, welcome to my house. Make yourself at home. And he immediately like falls asleep.
Fair enough.
Bayo
Can
is. Yes.
I wanna, first off, roll Arcana.
Sure.
See if there is anything weird about this wound.
You're checking the wound. Okay.
Ah.
Wait, no. Where did he say that it hurt?
Bayo has only told you that his
Right.
like where he got stabbed hurts, but he still visibly looks like something is bothering him.
What's up?
Just a stab wound, I told you.
Can I roll insight?
You roll insight. Bayo roll persuasion or deception. Your choice.
I have a +4 persuasion.
But is he trying? But he's trying to deceive.
Fuck!
What did you roll?
6.
6. I rolled a 16.
You can tell that there is something other than the stab wound, which, by the way, with an 8 Arcana, it's a regular stab wound. It's nothing magical about it. You can definitely tell something else is bothering Bayo.
Bam.
Can we talk about it later?
I'm scared.
Just. He puts his hand up on his neck, like where it hurts. And just can't meet Theodora's eyes.
First off, 20. What is that? Do I see anything? Do I notice
Arcana.
anything?
So you're kind of make your way and look behind Bayo. Right away, you see where he's kind of like scratching at the sore spot. His hand moves away, and you see it almost looks like a tattoo where his hand was, of just a tiny little how do I describe this? It almost looks kind of like, you know how some people have like beauty marks on their face that are just tiny little like black spots. It almost looks like a
Does
weirdly
this seem
big one of
consistent?
those
Does this seem consistent with a curse?
with a curse. No. Well, nothing you've ever heard of.
That's a DM cop out.
Well,
It just looks like a tiny little black, like I said, it like almost a natural feature of Bayo's skin, except you have seen the back of Bayo's neck just incidentally before, and this was never there.
Yeah, incidentally. Sorry, that was so phrase so fucking. Sorry.
that's concerning.
Bayo is still not looking at her.
That was an accident. Don't worry about that.
Okay. With an 8 medicine check, you can tell he was not stabbed in the back of the neck. So, you
Hey,
guys.
Do
Oh,
you
go ahead.
guys mind going on without me? I have to do something. I'll be with you shortly. I swear.
Yeah.
I hope the thing goes well.
Yeah.
Bayo tries to leave with the group.
All right.
Oh, did you mean in game or character?
No,
Like
in
out?
game. In game.
Oh,
Yeah, it took me a second as well.
I also thought you might be speaking in person for
No.
a second.
No.
The downsides of having a character whose voice is just your voice.
Yeah. I'm gonna. Can I, while the rest of the party goes to the tavern, try and find, or rather try and go to, like, the convent, find, like, experienced
Sure.
priest.
Go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
Five.
5. You kind of go on your way trying to find a sort of cathedral, and you kind of get sort of lost as you're looking, and as you go, you're kind of oh, excuse me. This coffee's really doing something terrible to my stomach. As you are looking for the cathedral or a convent or something, you kind of wander and you end up stumbling into kind of as you're looking around. After about I'm gonna say 30 minutes of you kind of looking around, you stumble and you end up going into sort of just eventually the first open building you see, which happens to be Greasy's, where the rest of the party is sitting at the table.
Oh, god damn it. Can I try again?
Sure.
This is important to her. It's another investigation, or what do you want me to roll?
Roll investigation with advantage this time. You know how to not get to Greasy's at this point.
Okay, that's 6 and 13.
13.
Jesus
Okay,
Christ.
the DC was not high. So, you kind of at this point, you know where Greasy's is. You know how to get to where Greasy's isn't. You leave Greasy's and kind of make your way in the opposite direction from where you came, and you do end up finding you're sort of make your way to the market district, and in the market district, kind of tucked away, is a tiny little. It's like a religious bookstore. It's not really a convent. You haven't found any proper kind of church buildings that are open today. A lot of places were closed because of the tournament, but this tiny little like religious bookstore is open. You figure that's your best bet.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in there.
Sure, you kind of step inside. It's kind of warm. It's like candle lit a little bit. There's kind of a lot of like weird. It's kind of you see sort of on the most obvious shelves. It's like those like young adult books that are trying to be knockoffs of the Hunger Games, but they're written by like weirdly religious people.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those kind of on display,
Okay.
more obviously. And then as you look around, you find like the more regular religious texts. And sitting behind the counter is this sort of like 15-year-old tiefling who visibly looks like he does not want to be there. He's there because it was his shift and he couldn't get anybody to cover it. And he's kind of sitting there. It's like, hey, welcome. What can I get you?
I'm looking for something specific. My friend was poisoned,
Okay.
and I have reason to believe that there's something odd, potentially arcane, going on with that.
We have books on the heretical magics over in, and he kind of gestures vaguely in a direction. I'm not really super familiar with those, but one of those might be kind of what you're looking for. We have.
Thank you.
Are you thinking it's a curse, or what are you thinking?
Nothing I'm familiar with. I'm. It. Black spot, back of the neck, but not the stab wound.
Black spot, back of the neck, not the stab wound. I'm gonna roll something for this character really quickly. I've never heard anything like that, but if you think it might have been one of those old heretical magics, that'd be the place I'd look.
Thank you. That's probably another investigation roll, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's your modifier on that?
A plus
+1.
one. It's a 9.
That is a 9. You find a couple books on curses, and you're kind of flipping through them and combing through them, and you don't really see anything that really matches the description of what you've run into here. With whatever's going on with Bayo, you can't find anything that describes a similar look to that.
Okay, give me a sec. Hold on. Can I pray to the moon? I have nothing better to do, and she's a bit.
Panic.
You know what? You know what?
Religion? I don't
Sure,
know.
yeah. Roll religion. Roll religion. Pray to the moon.
That's a 10.
Fuck me, the dice hate you today.
Having a rough roll day today. Okay. So as you sort of think in your kind of panicked state and say a quick prayer to Yadala the moon goddess, you sit there and you hear just a voice very, very quietly in the back of your mind that says, "All will be revealed at its correct time. I'm occupied. I will help you. I will help you in time."
So out of character, what I'm hearing is the moon is a magic 8-ball.
Try again later. So now you're just fucking with me. Signs point to yes.
Love the idea of praying to God and just being like, well, now you're just fucking with me.
No, I'm.
When you pray to God and God leaves you on red.
I'm going to see if I can't borrow myself like a book on fucking. Are there any books related to poisons in specific?
Yeah, there are a couple. They don't really detail. Well, yeah, there are a few books on poisons that kind of detail sort of how to cure them and stuff like that, as well as a little bit of how to identify them. Yeah, there are a couple.
Which of these books looks the most obscure and weird?
Do me a favor and just roll a d6.
Are you trying to figure out how to do that in Roll20?
I got it. I rolled a 6.
You rolled a 6. There is a book that is called "Weird Poisons and What to Do About Them" by Finnegan Poisonman, who is, you get the impression that it's a pen name. It's got like a sort of Steve Irwin looking half orc holding up a very like a very angry looking snake on the cover.
You know what? Sure. I'm just gonna go and buy this.
Sure. You take it up to the kind of sort of still very visibly like, "I don't want to be here" tiefling, who's like, "Oh yeah, that one, that's been in the discount bin for a while. Hang on, let me Take a quick look. There's a price tag on here somewhere, I think. I don't see a price tag. How's 2 silver sound?
Cool. Here's 3 as a tip.
Hell yeah, thank you. You are paying for my college.
I like give him a sort of tired thumbs up, like been there.
Yeah, no, it's not fun, eh?
No.
Do you want our money back guarantee on the warranty if you don't like the book?
It, no, it's fine, really.
You don't want to pay 5 gold for the protection plan?
I just give him a look.
I am contractually obligated to offer this to every customer.
I'm aware. You know what? Here's another silver. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Thank you.
and I try and make my way back to Greasy's.
I'm not going to make you roll for it this time. We are going to
already found it.
Yeah. We are going to cut to Greasy's. Let me change the music really quickly. I really hope that there is a noticeable change on this. Okay, a bit different. That's fine. So you guys make your way and you enter Greasy's. Greasy's is kind of this like hole in the wall kind of tavern with a big sign. With the sign is like a giant ladle with this sort of like wooden word Greasy's in like 90s block letters hanging off of the ladle. And as you guys make your way in, the first thing that kind of hits you is the smell of Greasy's. This is a place that deep fries things that maybe shouldn't be deep fried, and also a lot of things that definitely should be deep fried, and maybe some things you think couldn't be deep fried. Everything like it smells like Southern food, kind of like Southern U.S. food. As you're entering, there is Bayo. Your nose is excited by the sheer volume of meat and the sheer variety of meat that you detect in the air as you go in, and kind of you see sitting behind the counter, not even sitting, standing behind the counter is a giant minotaur with like elk antlers instead of horns kind of standing there, and he looks over as you walk over and says, hey, welcome to Greasy's. You guys make yourselves at home. I'll have a way to come see you in a moment.
Tell me when I arrive.
Do you want to know when you arrive for the first time or the second time? Second time, gotcha. You guys sit down at Greasy's. After a little bit of acclimating, it smells very good. It's very humid in here, and after a moment, a waiter comes up to you. This is like this waiter is a sort of young Goliath man, kind of walks up. He says, hey, welcome to Greasy's. My name is Greasy57. I'll be your waiter for the evening. He puts down the appetizer in air quotes, which is actually just a full steak for everyone to share. He kind of sets it down. He says, what can I get you guys to drink to start you off today? How about you, Mr. Excitable looking dog fellow?
I'll take a juice.
Do you have any preference for what kind of juice? Apple, orange, meat?
Juice.
I can do that. Okay. The dude with the white hair. What can I get you?
Just a mead for me.
Just some meat. Gotcha. Can do. The owl. What does the owl want?
I have no idea. Pick for me.
Ooh, I like it when people say that. Okay, cool. I'll pick for you. And how about you, the elf?
Oh, water, please.
Water. You're aware water costs extra here?
I'll have a cider then.
Can do. Okay, cool. I will be back in like 5 minutes with your drinks. Here's the menus, the food menus. I'll let you pour over those and decide what you want. I'll be right back in a minute. Hey, Gracie! And he says as he shouts to the giant minotaur you saw earlier as he walks away. I don't know if any of you speak Goliath, but he's speaking in Goliath.
Do not.
As you guys sort of enjoy your appetizer of a single giant like T-Rex steak that is big enough for 5 people to share, which means it's big enough for one Bayo. You sort of tuck in, your drinks come after a little bit, and as Greasy57 comes back over to you to bring you to ask about your food choices, you guys watch as, for the second time now, Theo comes in.
Bayo has the biggest grin on his face as he is trying his best not to devour all of the appetizer out of politeness, and also has a big giant glass of meat juice now. Um, he's waving. Down.
Hi.
Do you want some steak? There's some here if you want. I mean, there's also lots coming, but
Not that hungry. I just want something to drink.
do you want some of my meat juice?
I'd rather not. Can I like wave a waiter over?
Sure, yeah. Well, Greasy number 57 is coming over as you sit down. He says, "Oh, hi. I'm sorry. I didn't realize there was going to be someone else coming. I would have got you a bigger appetizer."
I just walked in.
Yeah, I would have got a bigger appetizer if I knew there was another person coming. What can I? We'll start with you. What can I get you to drink, miss?
Absinthe.
Straight absinthe. I like it. Okay.
What is
You want
that?
that? You want that in like a shot glass, or do you just want the bottle?
I'm not that insane. I'll take a shot of it and the brandy for the rest, or something, or whiskey, whatever you got.
Gotcha. I'll make that work. He hands everybody else. Theo, you have received a glass of different meat juice from what Bayo had. And he hands everybody, including you now, Theo, the menus. He says, "So we've got you can get sort of a steak and egg dinner. We've got just a steak and steak dinner. We got an egg and egg dinner. We have the vegan surprise. We have we got a lot of stuff here. Is there any preferences that anybody has? We can get you a full mutton. Let's go back from the top. The dog. What does the dog want?
Do you happen to have any country fried steak?
Can do.
Can I get that in a regular steak and some eggs?
Absolutely, we can make that happen. Dude with the white hair.
Vegan special, please.
I am contractually obligated to tell you that the surprise is that it's not vegan. Does that change your mind?
Nah.
Understood. The owl. What does the owl want?
I'll also take the vegan surprise.
Understood. Would the elf like anything?
Steak and eggs, please.
Steak and eggs. Can do. And the person who just came in. Do you have anything you want to eat yet, or are you feeling all right?
Yep. I don't know. Some sausages.
Some sausages. Can do. How many is some to you?
3 pair.
3 pair. Can do. I'll be right back with your food. Hey, Gracie, he says again as he starts screaming as he walks away.
Word.
It's a fascinating place we've walked into, don't you think?
I can't describe how much I love it here. Bayo is drooling over whatever is left of the appetizer.
Can I,
Right.
like, start reading from the book as I wait?
Sure, yeah, go ahead and just give me an intelligence check and we'll come back to the result later.
Cool. 9, for fuck's sake.
Okay, we will come back to that. So, as you guys, after a little bit, your food gets brought out. You all eat it. Some of it takes a while to eat. Bayo's does not take very long, even though Bayo ordered maybe the highest volume of food.
He saves a little bit of each of his things that he got for Theo to try.
Bayo, your food, because you ate such a sheer volume and because you were feeling rough, it gives you a big bonus. I don't know how to add it in D&D Beyond, but you, for the rest of the week, have +2 con.
Okay.
The 2 people who ordered the vegan surprise, the surprise is that it's not vegan. It is a giant Tyrannosaurus steak set down atop a, I'm going to say, not very generous, air quotes, salad of like 7 romaine lettuce leaves. If you eat the entire thing, you will gain +2 strength for the next week. The steak and eggs are sort of, it's a similar size of steak to Bayo's country fried steak, but it's not like pounded flat. It's just a regular kind of New York strip type deal. with some sunny side up fried eggs. It gives +2 dexterity for the next week. And the sausages give +2 wisdom for the next week. They are pork sausages. You think, you're not quite sure, because 90% of the seasoning, or 90% of the flavor in sausages is seasoning. So you have difficulty identifying what it is, but it's good.
Okay.
As you are eating, Theo, you are kind of thumbing through the book and maybe getting it a little dirty, but it wasn't in great shape when you picked it up. The book sort of details. With a 9, I will say it does actually detail one of the poisons. It details the silencing poison as coming from a specific breed of man-o-war jellyfish. It's sort of it's a liquid that or not a liquid, but like a substance that man-o-war jellyfish secrete when they're on air, when they're on dry land. That
I thought
is
for some fucking reason you were about to say when they're on acid.
yeah. No, but it is sort of it's a substance that is secreted by a certain breed of man-o-war jellyfish when they're on dry land that is notable for being considered pretty hard to preserve, and also for the field curing method being to actually amputate the limb that has it. So what has been done to keep the poison from damaging Bayo, you now realize is like maybe a miracle of medical science. You're not sure.
I'm gonna pocket the book and mull on this.
DM.
Yeah.
I figured out how to add to the Constitution modifier. I can add another modifier of 4. However, it also increases my max hit points for some reason. Is that fine?
Yeah, that's normal. Don't worry about it.
Okay, cool. I'm not gonna fuck with it then. Neat. Just remind me when the week is up.
Yeah, I'm keeping track of time personally because I'm psychotic, so I know how long everything has been. As you guys are eating at Greasy's, while you are there, a few people kind of in the restaurant, when they see you and like clock that you were the people that were at the brawl, kind of speak in hushed tones, and as you're looking around, you see them looking and kind of stare at you, and then when you look at them, they look away and pretend like they were just glancing at you, and they're not very good at hiding that they were staring at you. They are kind of anybody can make a perception check, actually, if they would like.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
16.
Wow.
0.
Vamir, every time someone looks at you, you blink.
Cool.
Bayo rolled a 17.
Why the fuck?
I didn't
No
know
one's blinking.
you didn't know you could get a 0 on that. Okay.
I
well,
got a
when
minus
my-
1.
My
you have a
modifier
minus
is
one?
-2 and I roll a 2, kind of balances out.
There
I've
you
never
go.
actually had that happen in a game.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
My
So
roll's actually a 16 because I can't roll lower than a 9. Wait, no, sorry, that's a wrong. Never mind, it's 14.
14, gotcha. So with a the DC was not high. Everybody except mystifyingly Vamir notices that a couple of people that are staring are people that you had seen earlier at the feast. Specifically, let me go down the list here. Specifically, you see Mistress Micaiah, the master of church for Akoni Tandong, the king of Nahamea. You see Bastion Centrup, who is the part of the delegation from Spieler. And you see Jameson Whitewater, the tiefling who runs Whitewater Munitions, that Vamir met during the feast, all kind of there and kind of sneaking glances at everybody as you guys eat.
Wow.
I sigh, like, in like a bit of frustration. And I neck my shot.
It goes down. It tastes like pain and feels like different pain. It's absinthe.
Yeah, that
Yeah, that was the intention.
Wow, popular place. No.
Talk to these people who seem to be very much staring at us.
Bayo is just numbing on his food. He got stabbed today. He's done with the people.
What do you mean staring at us?
Open your eyes.
Vamir
Your
is like,
eyes are
everybody's
closed.
staring, nobody's blinking. What's happening?
Open your eyes, Vamir.
I
They are
I
closed.
have been.
Well, they're all staring at us. My mystical owl senses are telling me that. I don't know.
So, as you guys eat there, about between kind of the waiting for the food, eating the food, and Theo's little investigation, about 2 hours go by. You have 6 hours until you need to get to the guard's place to go for questioning. Is there anything else anybody wants to do?
Bayo is okay. How long is a short rest again?
An hour.
Okay, cool. Bayo is going to spend some time finding a park or something, again, just under a tree, anywhere. Take a short rest,
Sure.
little nap. And at some point he wants to go get his armor back, whether Theo likes it or not, before before going to the guard's place. He's actually gonna go. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I was gonna actually say he goes. He's gonna try going back to actually like his room, not Theo's. He's gonna go try back to his room for a rest.
Sure. You get back to your room, you rest, you're kind of relaxing, feeling the pain go away. That pain in the back of your neck that like kind of got downgraded to like a small itch that won't go away with the lesser restoration is still there. You kind of, it's like slips to the back of your mind as you're kind of sitting there getting acclimated to it, and eventually you notice it, but it doesn't feel like anything serious anymore.
Bayo is going to, after his in his room by himself, is going to,
Sure.
after waking up from his short rest, kind of sit up, shift over, put his hands on his knees, and attempt to shift as much as he can into his beast form.
Okay. Give me one moment. I need to check something really quickly.
I also want to say he has locked his doors and
Lock the doors, lock the windows.
yes, everything. He is yeah.
Cool. Give me one moment. So, as you are sort of, you do your partial shift that you are used to doing, that you have done in combat before, that you will do in combat again, and you feel fine. As you are trying to go past that, go further into it, I would like you to give me just a wisdom check.
Saving throw or just a wisdom check?
Just a check.
0 modifier, go. Gods? Okay. 12.
12. You try, you feel yourself kind of focusing your mind as you kind of zero in on what you're trying to do, and you try and go a bit further and a little bit further, and you are at every time you inch a little further beyond that that the sort of base shifted state that you're used to, you feel your control start to slip away a bit, and you stop yourself, and then you try again and you feel it slip away and you stop yourself again.
Is this something that is that I would typically be able to do with ease, because I don't think we ever sorted that out.
Give me an insight check.
On myself? Damn. Okay. No insight on the DM. Oh, almost said fuck you, dice. No. Good. 18.
18. You have gone past this point before. You have gone past this and retained control before. You feel like it might even be a case of like, with everything that's happened today, today is not the day to try this, right?
Yeah.
So you've done this before. It's required some amount of like mental energy that you might just not have right now,
Bayo
between getting
is...
stabbed and nearly dying in the dream and all that.
Yeah, he rubs the spot on his neck again and then gets up to go get his armor.
While we
Sure.
were taking a short rest, can I keep reading in the book?
Yeah, go ahead. What did I have you roll for? Give me another intelligence check. You've read
Can
through
I-
part of it. Give it to me with advantage.
Cool. Boom, boom. Oops. So that's once and that's a 20.
That's a 20. Okay. You are able to find the other two poisons. The
Mhm.
first poison, the paralyzing poison, comes from a different kind of jellyfish, and is typically cured through the normal way that you cure a jellyfish sting, piss. And as you are kind of flipping through this, the paralytic agent, this is nothing. You've maybe not experienced this specific paralytic agent, but you're familiar with how these work. This is pretty standard. The silencing agent you saw before is relatively standard. The poison you see for the damage effect is purple worm poison.
Uh-huh.
This is extremely hard to find. You have to get it by harvesting it from a dead animal that is extremely difficult to kill, extremely rare in most parts of the world, and extremely violent and dangerous. And it deals, hang on, I have it written down here somewhere because I'm stealing it from the player's handbook. It deals a high volume of d6s of damage. Yes, it deals. So purple worm poison deals 12d6 damage
All
on a
right.
DC 19 Constitution saving throw.
Any
Christ.
side effects?
No side effects other than death, right?
Okay.
If it kills you, you die. That is the side effect.
Hmm.
All of the poisons, as far as you can tell, don't have any side effects beyond the basic, like, oh, it paralyzes you. Oh, it silences you. Oh, it really hurts.
How late is it?
How late is it? At this point, after the short, or if this is during the short rest, you have like 5.5 hours before you have to go off for questioning.
How late is it daytime?
In the
then?
day, probably like 4 p.m.
Right. I sort of reach into my uh you know onto my moon pendant and I sort of just rub it gently.
You kind of run your hand across the little sort of engravings and stuff in your pendant to the moon goddess Udala. As you are running your fingers through, you hear again, very faintly, a voice in your mind as you commune with your goddess again. The church is not to be trusted. And then the voice is gone.
I'm gonna get up and try and talk to Bayo.
Okay, so I'm going to need Bayo. Are you trying to slink off without getting noticed by Theo?
To get my armor?
Yeah.
No. It's just thing. He doesn't. She knows something's up. She doesn't. you know, he just wants his armor back. He doesn't like being without it, and he's up to full strength again. So
Sure. So then, in that case, Theo, you go to where you know Bayo's room was, and you kind of knock on the door. And Bayo, you hear someone knock.
his hand was on the door to open it, like as. Oh, Theo. Hi.
Can I talk to you?
Yeah. What's up?
Can I come in?
Yeah. Sorry. Opens the door, kind of lets her come in, gently shutting it behind her. And as like she sits, you know, goes to sit down or whatever, he's gonna go over to the window and make sure that's unlocked in the room. It's tidy again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether what's happening to you is directly tied to the poison or in any way. Doesn't look like it. Though I do now know that the poison used is extremely rare.
Bayo kind of tenses up as she's speaking. Theo, sorry.
Look,
Don't think it's the poison. I saw something while I was asleep. Not like last night, but when I passed out after he stabbed me, saved me. First time you saved me, but I don't think. It's like I was floating. There was a growling, some beast, and he kind of raises his hand up and presses on the spot that's been burning again. I don't know if it was the beast within me or.
no, go on.
It said something. It spoke to me. It's a seal. Whatever this is. I don't know exactly if it. What it. It might just be today, but shifting, going further beyond this. You know about my people. I don't know. Something. He is trying very hard not to be shaken, kind of.
How tall is Bayo again?
5'8".
Okay, yeah, she's going to walk up to him, place her hands on both sides of his, like, the back of his head, and just kiss his forehead.
Sorry. Rests his head.
I'm scared.
Blame you.
That's not even what I'm scared about. I feel uncomfortable in the sun. And I get the feeling that the moon is trying to lead me here for a reason.
It led us together, didn't it? She knows what she's doing. Dala. She will guide us. She got us this far, right?
See, my concern isn't that I don't know that she knows what she's doing. My concern is that I think I don't know what I'm doing.
Just have to trust in her. This will change just like the moon. Cupid's phases.
Yeah. Ayo, never mind.
He's going to grip gently under her, under her sides for a tight hug. It'll be okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Alright. Let's get you your armor, you big dog.
His eyes light up a little bit. Am I allowed to wear it again?
Yeah. Hey, DM question.
Yeah. What's up?
The fake Steve Irwin book.
Yeah.
Can I keep that as
Yeah.
sort of a
I
quick
mean, you
reference?
bought it.
Yeah,
You bought it.
yeah, fair enough. Would it help me in the future trying to identify poisons I've read about in it?
Yeah. It's a book about weird poisons.
Yeah. Well, yeah. All right.
It's as you flip through it, it's like written as like one of those like textbooks like from the 90s by like teachers that were trying to get kids to like them.
I
Like,
know
yeah, man,
exactly-
learning about
I know-
poisons is radical.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
You're welcome for this cursed knowledge.
I'm. My only concern right now is whether or not this man was murdered by a stingray.
It doesn't say. He's the author of the
like,
book.
Does
I
like
mean,
at the end of the book, does it say coming next the world of stingrays or something?
no, it's just got a little piece about the author. The author is from Nahamea, actually, and is sort of this kind of not a celebrity in like the traditional sense. He's like a celebrity in the very niche field of like biological science. He's like the kind of person who gets into huge controversies that only complete dorks would ever hear about.
Oh, did you hear Wimbledon Fuckberry postulated that 35 berries. I don't know.
It's not even that. It's like as you're kind of reading about him, you're trying to recall any information. It's like, oh yeah, that's the guy that like people got really upset with because he like had a girlfriend, and it alienated his reader base and stuff like that, right?
Okay, I understand now. Okay. Yeah. Let's get the goddamn armor and then let someone else. take
Sure.
the
Before
spotlight.
you guys go to get the armor, does anybody else have anything they want to do during the short rest? I will take the silence as a no.
What? Wait, short rest? Sorry.
There was a hour-long short rest. Was there anything you wanted to do during that?
No, I just want to know how much do you heal any HP?
You roll hit dice. So however many hit dice you have, you can roll that many and gain whatever your hit die is plus your con mod for every hit die you roll.
How do I do
D&D Beyond also has a short rest button.
Yeah.
I would just use that.
Where's
At the top.
Oh, I see. Thank you.
Good.
I think the only
So
thing Theo would really be doing is just like listening for various rumors, stories, and things to just write down, turn into massive stories or whatever.
sure, are you like going around in sort of like among townspeople and kind of talking
Yeah,
with them
just
and stuff?
mostly townspeople.
Sure, give me a persuasion check.
That's the correct one that I can't roll lower than the number. Oh, I not one it.
Ah,
It's a 14 though, even with a no one.
How the f...
Because of Silver Tongue. I don't think it prevents nat ones,
you know,
but
I feel like, I mean, hang on. Sorry, give me 1 sec.
let me just read the feature, class feature. Yeah, when you make a charisma, either persuasion or deception check, you can treat a d20 roll of lower than 9 as a 10.
Oh, well then yeah, you're good.
Oh,
So yeah,
okay.
that cancels out persuasion or the crit. So roll as a 10, you said?
Yeah, so total 14.
14. Okay.
Yeah.
With a 14, most of what people are talking about is kind of what happened at the tournament, because now word is starting to get around the common people who weren't at the event. You do hear a couple things that might be useful to the investigators whenever that comes. Woodward has a house in Fort Rose on the waterfront district that is kind of isolated from the rest of the houses in that part of the district. He owns sort of a large plot of land there. Woodward was also extremely devout and was a very high ranking member of the church. He held a small office at a cathedral in the Garden District, and also he is held within high esteem within the church. And so, because of that, some people are kind of speculating that other high ranking members of the church might have been in on whatever he was doing. But there's not many people talking about anything other than what happened at the tournament.
So Woodward was super high ranking. People think he's colluding with the church. He has a house in the water district.
The waterfront, like the docks.
And there was another place you mentioned.
Yeah, he has a small office at a cathedral in the Gardens District that might have some documentation that
Got
could
it.
potentially implicate other people.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go straight to Ida, and if I can find them, and share what I found, because they are the last person I talked to anything related about the church.
Sure, yeah. Ida, I assume, is just in their room. Orange, you okay?
I didn't realize I was muted.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go like, oh, seems like Woodward has was really high ranking in the church, and people think that either other people in the church or the church might be behind this weird incident. I don't know if this is something we should share with everyone else, but he also seems to have a house by the waterfront and an office where we might be able to do a little bit investigating if we know anyone who's great at sneaking. I'm pretty good, but I would like a friend.
It might be worth telling everybody else about, just because it means that we have more resources if we do want to infiltrate.
Yeah, got it. Yeah. I guess then my next goal is to try and find everyone else to share that.
Sure, yeah. Really quickly, is there anything Vamir is trying to do during the short rest, or is he just all good?
I mean, he'd probably just be going around chatting with whoever he can about that which burns.
Cool, yeah. Again, most of what people are talking about is about what happened at the tournament. You glean basically the same information that Fiona does from entirely different people, and then kind of reconvene at the same time and say, oh yeah, like what were you talking about? And then you kind of exchange notes and realize that your notes are identical.
Gotcha.
So with that, you guys kind of the three of you find Theo and Bayo probably right as you're about to go out and grab your armor.
What's up?
We may potentially be planning a heist. I don't know yet. No one else has agreed yet, but potentially.
Bayo like tilts his head in that like way dogs do, and like you see one of his ears flop over. And he's like, a heist?
Okay, fine. No one else has agreed to it, but the Woodward, the dude who shot things at you, is apparently very high ranking in the church. I don't know much about the church, but I know they don't like me. But he has a house by the waterfront and an office that might have more documentation. But
So,
yeah,
Theo goes like chalk white for a sec there.
Yeah?
What? No. Uh, yeah, yeah.
So Bayo kind of nudges her a little bit. We don't have that long before we have to go to the guards post, do we? be best if we got our armor for now. I mean, that's not enough. Or my armor for now. It's not enough to pull off a heist in that time, you know. And he's like
How
kind
much time
of.
do we have?
You have at this point about 5 hours.
Bayo doesn't know time. He's still saying those words.
I think it might be in our best interest to go check that out.
The waterfront.
Yeah.
Either his house or his office in the garden district.
Yeah, there's at a cathedral in the Gardens District.
Gotcha.
So where are you guys going now? Are you going to grab the armor first, or?
Bayo is going to, regardless of what everyone else does, grab his armor first, but not put it on. Just wants it back right now, at least. With his
Okay.
weapon.
You go and kind of, it takes maybe 20 minutes for you to make your way from where you were resting to the blacksmith that had it. The blacksmith is this kind of stumpy looking goblin with like 3 fingers across both hands. It was kind of holding your sword, polishing it as you come in. He says, "Oh, you're that what's your name? Bayo, you're the guy that got stabbed, right?"
Among other things.
Yeah. We've got your stuff here. Hang on. He puts down your sword in front of you and kind of reaches under and kind of with both hands and one leg picks up your shield and sets it down and then says, I'll go grab your armor in a second. You can grab this. All the polishing and stuff I was holding on to it, that's free of charge. Don't worry about the money. If there's anything you're after that you don't, if you think anything's kind of out of place, you can take a look. It all should be fine. If there's anything you need, let me know and get it for you. Let me go grab that. And he kind of hobbles off and kind of, as you're looking, you realize he also has between both feet maybe 3 toes. This looks like someone who has been in a lot of industrial accidents.
Bayo, after kind of just nodding, immediately perked up and like happy that he has his weapon and armor back in his sight. He takes his sword specifically and presses it to his head. Did anyone else come with him to pick up his armor?
Did anyone else go with Bayo?
I mean, I kind of assumed maybe we were all traveling together again, but
Bayo, he's going to whisper very quietly to the sword, I missed you, brother, and then sheath it and put it back on his waist.
You have your sword back, you have your shield back. After like 5 minutes, he comes back. He's, for someone with barely any fingers, he's doing an admirable job of carrying an entire suit of armor and kind of hops up and puts it down on the counter and says, this is your armor. It should fit fine still. We had to clean it off a bit. You I don't know how often you wash it, but it's not often enough. You should fix that. Other than that, it's all good. There should be no poison. I just need you to sign this waiver that says if there is any poison, we're not responsible.
Bayo does not read any of the sheet and signs it.
Perfect.
After signing the paper, he kind of turns around. Right. Do you guys want to go? Kind of securing his armor into his bag the best he can, like on his back.
I guess do we want to go look at water or plants?
I'm to the rest of the party. Let's see.
Well, I can keep watch, I guess. Or stay here. Well, I don't know what I'll do, frankly.
I mean, we don't have to have a heist. We could just tell the guards.
Well, it's worth investigating at least. If there's nothing, if we don't break in, then you know that's nothing to. I don't want to commit a crime, but
It's not a crime if you don't get caught.
not
Based.
how that works.
That's definitely not how that works.
It's okay. Fiona doesn't know. She's just into just adventure.
I thought you were
Sounds
going
like
to say
she's
theft.
into crime.
Well, how about we head to the cathedral first? That's probably open to regular visitors. Hopefully, I'm not sure how you all do your religious places, and maybe we could sneak into the office and find some papers.
Isn't he looks to Theodora? You're a high member, or you're a priest of the church, aren't you?
Nominally, why?
Well, this is the church of that which burns. If we can't walk in, the rest of us anyway, I mean, that's fair, but you're allowed to be there, right? He kind of, like, his tail is, like, kind of tucked between his legs, but, like, wagging. Seems very proud of having come up with this idea.
Okay. What is the building we're going into again?
The cathedral in the Gardens district.
Right.
Woodward had a office there that might have some documents to help us.
You would, Theo, being a member of the church, like of some amount of clout, you would know that the cathedral itself would be open to all, but the office specifically would definitely be locked up, especially with a criminal investigation going on.
Theo kind of grabs Theodora's hand as she's sitting there and gently says, "We don't have to go there first if you don't want to."
The cathedral, I don't think we should go there at all, to be entirely honest.
Well, the other option is his house by the waterfront.
I think that would be preferable, to be entirely honest with you.
All right. To a stranger's house. Let's go. I have no idea which way to go.
Okay, hang on. Now we get to play the fun game of nobody's been to this city before. Who here has the highest wisdom? Or who here specifically has the highest survival score?
Oh, survival? Probably not Bale, but
Yeah, let's see. Mine's a +5 and
Plus
I-
one
-2.
yeah, I'm gonna go with the bird.
my passive
Yeah, same.
perception's also 17. So
Okay, can Fiona please give me a survival check to navigate the city to the waterfront?
I rolled a 10.
Okay, the DC is not high because you got here through the waterfront district, because you guys took a boat to get to this city. You kind of make your way back through the city you kind of have to like retrace your steps for a while. It takes you maybe 30 minutes to get to the waterfront district, and from there, after some conversations with people that are currently working there, most of the buildings in the waterfront district are public housing projects for people who are working at the docks and temporary housing for deckhands, stuff like that. But eventually you find this kind of isolated house, sort of separate from everywhere else in the waterfront district. It's not an extravagant house. It's made of like, it almost looks like an insulated log cabin that's kind of there. And this, as you understand it, is the home of Arthur Woodward. As you are standing outside, the curtains are drawn closed. The door is shut. Other than that, it just looks like a normal house.
Can I look around? Are there any people noticing us?
Sure, make a perception check.
15.
15. A couple people have like noticed that you've gone up to the house, but other than that, they don't super care. You get the impression this is a very kind of like live and let live type of place, right? These are not very rich people that live here. They just kind of assume that like, oh, they might be going up to steal from there. Who cares?
Yeah, fair enough.
Fair enough.
We do that too.
I guess I'll go ahead and cast the detect magic as a ritual while we have time.
Detect magic. I need to read that spell very quickly. Give me one moment.
Oh boy.
Oh, I just realized Bayo has chainmail plate. Whoops. I mean, that's supposed the way it's supposed to be. I just.
And that's why the goblin was able to lift it.
Well, see, the thing is, plate armor is segmented. I'm sure a goblin could lift the individual segments of plate pretty easily.
Okay. Fiona, you cast detect magic as a ritual. You're not necessarily sure of where it is. There is some kind of magic in that house. Divine magic specifically.
Divine magic. Are
Divination.
you communicating this to the party?
Yeah, definitely.
Can I
Uh,
roll religion to see if I can figure it out from out here?
Just kind of
Sure.
imagine Fiona as just like being like this happy-go-lucky person who's just like so happy to be on an adventure
17.
that she's pointing everything out.
Alright. Yeah, I rolled a
17. From out here, you're not really sure. This is a paladin of the church. It's not that surprising that there is some divine magic going on in the place that he lives and presumably spends most of his days. But
Mhm.
this, you do get sort of that same similar vibe of there is some divine magic going on in there, but you're not sure what or where.
So the only reason I can't see like what it is or what object it's coming from is because it's inside.
Yeah. Well, hang on. Give me one moment. Yeah. You are not, because of it's being indoors and sort of the way detect magic works, some things can obstruct it a bit. So
Got it.
you're not necessarily sure where or what it is, but there is something in there.
Well, does anyone want to visit our friend?
Bayo looks conflicted.
I would
It's
prefer if
okay,
we
we're
didn't
just
break
visiting
him
a
in there.
friend.
Shouldn't we let the guards do it?
I mean, think about it this way. If we get all the details ahead of them, we can far easily convict someone who is very likely to be found guilty for stabbing you.
Bayo looks at Yo for what to do here.
Can you say that again? It didn't parse in my brain.
Um, they asked if we should just let the guards know, and I said, well, if we find the evidence first, then we have a much stronger argument for convicting this person who stabbed Dale.
Maybe.
We're just helping in the investigation. We're not doing anything illegal.
No, we are. We're tampering with an investigation.
Okay, fine. I'll be tampering with an investigation. I just convinced you all to join me.
That's still a crime on our part. Listen, I think the best bet for us right now would be to not attract any attention to us.
Don't really have any strong leads, so
Maybe. I'm just worried, okay?
Well, I kind of don't want to sneak into someone's house alone, but I
I'll
probably
follow.
can.
I'll follow.
Okay. Seeing as there's no other magic that I can detect, I'm gonna go ahead and look at the door and see if it happens to be open.
Are you just like looking at it, or are you gonna like try the doorknob?
Just lightly push the door.
Lightly push the door. It does not budge.
Okay, does the doorknob turn?
The doorknob does turn. As you go to push it, it still does not open.
Oh, damn. Well, anyone here great at picking a lock?
Don't think do any of us have lockpick tools? Or lockpicks, rather?
That is a good question that I did not think about.
Bayo is going to look at the roof of this house. Is there a chimney of some sort?
Give me. Yeah, as you look, you kind of there is sort of a yeah, there is. It's I don't know if I would call it like a proper like Santa could fit his ass in this chimney, but like there is something that someone small enough or dexterous enough could potentially kind of slip through and get into the house.
Cool. Which of us is the shortest, the tiniest one?
Bayo is going to tap Fiona. I mean, did you fly into that?
I probably can fly and probably like a bird thin myself out because a lot of me is just fluff.
Can I, Fiona? Can you give me an insight check really quick?
Yeah. Well, it is a +5, so it is a nat 1.
It is a nat 1. Okay, cool. Never mind.
Fear.
My adventurous impulses are getting too much of me. But I'm gonna look at Bale and be like, "Oh yeah, I could definitely fly in there."
He looks worried, but just nods. He's playing with his fingers a lot.
I'm like, "Do you still have that feather I gave you?"
The feather? And then he kind of rummages around in his bag and pulls it out.
It's like it's got magic to make you feel calmer the longer you hold it.
Big eyes. And he's just looking at the feather now.
Totally lying, but yes.
He's a dumb dog.
Is he the kind of dog that runs into the screen?
He's the
the-
kind of dog that runs into the glass.
Like,
if
only if he sees either a treat or his human getting hurt on the other side.
if nothing else is happening, I'm gonna go ahead and try and fly up and look into the chimney.
Sure. You fly up. This is sort of like a 2-story building, so as you fly up into the up and above the house, it takes you a bit. You get up there and kind of hover over the chimney a bit. You look down. I don't know how to describe the inside of a chimney beyond it looks like a chimney. You would have to make a dex check to kind of slither your way in. It's going to be a tight squeeze.
All right. Well,
Acrobatics, that is, I would argue.
I'm just gonna kind of try and yell down. If I get stuck or you don't see me in like 10 minutes, just go get the guards and tell them I was just flying because that's what owls do and accidentally fell in because of a bright light. And I'm gonna go ahead and try and wiggle in.
Sure. Give me a dexterity check.
Just to check.
Acrobatics. Give me an acrobatics check.
21.
21.
Ooh.
Like a mouse slithering through the walls, except mice don't slither. Like a mouse skittering through the walls. You go in and are in and out of the chimney very quickly, and you are inside the house. There is no light at all. Do you have dark vision?
Yes, 90 feet.
Okay, you can sort of see it's a very modestly decorated house. There are no pictures or anything, some candles that are not lit. The curtains are all drawn shut. And as you look at the front door, there is actually a bookshelf blocking it from being opened.
Yeah, that's highly suspicious. Detect magic still lasts for a total of 10 minutes.
Detect magic is still lasting. It is sort of, there is a faint, just sort of general aura of divine magic throughout the inside of the abode. Give me an investigation check really quickly, or perception, sorry.
17.
17. Okay. With that high of a perception check, as you look around and kind of glance at various different objects, you notice two things. One, sort of hanging above the fireplace, kind of attached, like mounted to the wall, is the ceremonial sword that he was wearing at the feast. That is giving off a slightly more sort of noticeable aura of divine magic. And also, you notice kind of as you turn and look on the bookshelf, you see a tiny lead box sitting there, and you would know that thin sheets of lead can obstruct detect magic.
Okay. Now my brain is this a trap or not? I'm gonna go ahead and see about taking that lead box off the shelf.
Sure, you kind of walk up to the bookshelf that is blocking the front door. You grab the lead box. It's like, I say tiny, it's like maybe the size of a baseball. And you kind of grab it and pick it up. It's not too heavy, it's not very thick lead, but you pick it up and kind of hold it and look at it. It's a little cube of lead, about the size of a baseball. Not very heavy. As you kind of hold it, you hear there is something inside, but there's not a lot of movement in there. And you can't find a lid.
Well, I'm gonna pocket that for a bit and try and move the bookshelf.
Sure,
That-
give me an athletics check.
Okay. 13.
13. It takes you about 8 minutes to kind of this is a very loaded bookshelf, just full of stuff. As you kind of shove it out of the way, and after everyone on the other side of the door can hear this like creaking kind of of something being moved, as well as the sounds of an owl grunting, which you've never heard before, and it's a little weird. And then after about 8 minutes of that, the door is clear. And
I'm gonna go ahead and open the door back. Welcome to my house. I've just recently redecorated. Hope you like it.
hello, MTV, and welcome to my crib.
Yeah, I just forgot the key. Don't worry about it. Theo
You,
is nervously
Open
going.
the door. The door is not locked at all. It was just blocked by the bookshelf.
Does it have a lock on it?
Yeah, it just wasn't like on. Not on. It's not like an electric thing, but it wasn't locked.
I guess as people come in, I'll just kind of point out both the box as well as the magical sword.
Bayo is... Okay, I'm gonna let other people say their piece, because I have pieced this together as the player, but Bayo is a fucking idiot, and he's gonna take a few minutes for it. Go ahead, everyone.
Cool.
I've spaced out for the past 10 minutes, to be honest.
We
I've
have
been-
walked into the house. There is a lead box, and the magic ceremonial sword that Woodward had during the feast, which is radiating a slight magic.
If everybody's spacing out, do we want to call the session here?
Maybe, I don't know. I don't want to ruin anything for anyone.
I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea what's happened this session. I've just been dissociating. I'm sorry.
There is a recording that you guys can watch back when you're feeling a little better. That's part of why I've been recording.
Thank you. I mean, I'm happy to carry on, but I'm also as I said before, I'm probably not going to be the best player.
Yeah, you're
If you guys feel okay to continue, we can keep going. But if you want to, just let me know when you want to stop it. We're coming up to the end of what I have prepared anyway, so that's fine. So as you guys kind of walk into the house, light is pouring in from the now open door. It's very modestly decorated. There are a couple kind of there's a number of bookshelves that are very populated with religious books. It's all religious stuff in here. There's like iconography, like the equivalent of like crucifixes and stuff hanging up. There is the sword above the fireplace. This music is way too intense for what we're doing right now.
I would like to say Vamir is not going inside because principles.
That is fair. Vamir, you are standing outside. Are you keeping watch?
No,
Okay,
Thanks,
that's also
Vamir.
fair.
I just disapprove of this.
Bayo only is gonna walk into the doorway, but I don't know that he'll go much beyond the opening room originally.
Sure. As you are kind of looking in there, everyone who is looking in, give me a perception check.
Including me or no?
Sure, yeah, you can give me. Actually, because you were in there, you can give me investigation.
Got 21.
21.
Not-
Okay.
It was an 18 originally, so not an that or anything.
19.
19.
Okay. As everybody is looking in there, with everybody with the notable exception of Theo, who I guess is just kind of maybe a bit uncomfortable from all the religious iconography everywhere. You are all kind of looking around. You see sort of with those checks, you notice on one of the walls, kind of behind a bookshelf, barely poking out, it almost looks like a door frame that is being blocked off by one of the bookshelves.
Hmm.
I can spend some time to recast Detect Magic if people want to be cautious about that.
Theo is still kind of examining the door and the bookshelf that's been moved. And he just kind of squints a little bit at the door, noticing the fact that there's a lock, and says, "Someone else blocked this. Someone else that wasn't him. There must be another exit if they get it from the inside." He kind of is tilting his head at the lock.
Sure.
They would have had the key if it was Woodward, right? Someone incredibly close to him, but...
That would be a safe assumption. I guess, yeah, I'll go ahead and cast Detect Magic again just to make sure we have this thing constantly pinging for any magical traps and stuff.
Sure. You're getting basically the same information you got last time. So yeah, the sword is radiating some divine magic. The entire building has sort of a bit of general divine magic. You can't see anything going on in the lead box. Yeah.
Wait, didn't we find like a bookshelf or something sticking out for like a tunnel, or am I just somehow?
You did, but there's no magic coming from that. There's a bookshelf blocking what you can kind of almost looks like a door frame that you can barely see through like the edge of the tiny little gap.
Got it. I'm gonna start moving the bookshelf and be like, well, I guess I'm moving bookshelves today.
Cool. Are you doing that on your own, or is anyone going to help?
If anyone wants to help.
Theo is staying by the door, I'm sorry.
No,
Okay, that's fine. As you kind of begin to shove the bookshelf, give me an athletics check. Vamir, I need you to give me an insight check.
Nat 20.
Jesus. Okay, you're good at moving bookshelves. You
Apparently.
give it a like gentle tap and just shove it with one arm, and it moves out of the way. And you can see something I will describe in a moment because I just got Vamir's 9 for that insight check. Vamir, as you are kind of standing outside, obstinately refusing to participate in the crime that the rest of the party is doing, you are kind of standing there and sort of looking around the rest of the waterfront district, and you sort of feel, as you are walking through, just kind of walking around the general area, looking around, you feel sort of a something inside of you. You're not necessarily sure what. Something kind of, you feel your inherent magic kind of tingle a bit with something, and you have no idea what it is with a 9, but you feel that tingle a little bit, and it makes you a little uncomfortable. So with that out of the way, with the bookshelf knocked out of the way like an absolute giga chad, the revealed is sort of It looks like it blends in with the walls. The interior is also made up of like log walls, but you can very faintly see the outline of where the some of these logs would move away to open a passageway through to somewhere secret on the wall here. You found essentially a secret door that you don't know how to open. There's no visible keyhole or doorknob.
There was nothing on that lid. Can we move that box thing nearby it and see if anything happens? The lead
Sure,
box.
you're just gonna like run the box across the door.
Yeah, kind of like a metal detector for some reason.
Sure. As you are doing that, nothing happens.
All right. Anyone have
While you're doing that, actually, give me a perception check.
16?
16. You are looking and you notice in between, like where two logs are kind of put together, there is a tiny little gap, sort of in one little spot, like a tiny, like a slit almost in the middle of the door.
Um, can I put the lead box there?
Nothing happens when you put the lead box there.
And the lead box has no visible openings, right?
No, the lead box has no visible openings.
Damn, my brain is stumped.
Can I make an Arcana check real fast?
Yeah, go ahead.
7.
7. You still have no idea why you felt that, and now that you don't feel it, it almost makes you like more nervous because it was there for a second and then it's gone, and normally it lasts a bit longer than that.
Okay.
You're having a weird day.
Yeah.
I don't like this, DM. I don't like this.
Well, I have no idea what's going on outside, so can I like wedge the door open or that slit open like it's some kind of thing to wedge
Um,
open?
are you trying to like put something in there or?
Yeah. Well, I guess if you can give me the description again.
So it's
Maybe.
kind of like it looks like how do I describe a stab wound in wood? It looks like somewhere someone has inserted something sharp, like an opening for you to put like a key or something, but maybe not literally a key because it's shaped like someone stabbed through this little gap and then pulled something back out, right?
Okay. That sword was very fancy. I'm gonna go up and grab the sword and see if I can stab that in that hole.
Sure, you grab the sword off of the mantle and kind of position it properly and stab it in, and you hear a click as it goes in. Once you put it all the way in.
Bayo's ears perk up immediately.
I'm just gonna say, well, for this amount of secrecy and a bunch of stuff underneath his house, I feel like Woodward was not that great of a person. Are you sure y'all don't wanna go ahead and take a look?
Alright. Yeah, I go down.
Can I possibly go out and like tell the mirror, are you gonna wait outside the whole time? We found a very, very sketchy looking tunnel.
That's still someone's home.
Yes, but this is underneath their home.
But that's still part of their land, and this is kind of trespassing, so I'm good.
Okay.
We're conducting an investigation.
Yeah, an investigation. I'm gonna go back into the house and be like, does anyone here know minor illusion?
I don't think
I
anyone
know
does.
thaumaturgy.
I do love thaumaturgy.
Minor illusion is a cantrip, but damn. Okay. Yeah, I have no idea. I'm trying to
Are
convince
you
Amir to join us.
are you just leaving the sword stabbed in there, or are you taking it back out?
I don't want to take it back out in case that's what's keeping it open.
Cool.
Um, yeah. Uh, well, I don't want to be the only one going in, and I don't want Amir out here all alone.
Go in
Um,
if you want.
I mean, I can hold my own.
I mean, I trust that, but
Bayo is going to politely stand outside with Amir and busy himself with putting his armor back on.
okay. Um, all right. Well, if y'all are gonna stand watch, just casually standing watch and have nothing to do with the people inside this building, uh, uh just make some noise if you see a bunch of official-looking people. They really like that.
Noise will be made.
Okay, cool. Uh, and then I guess whoever's coming down with me, I'll start heading down.
So as you and Aiden and Theo walk up to the door, you grab the sword to kind of push it, and the door slowly swoops over. And you notice as you push it that behind the sort of veneer of logs, this is a entirely enormous metal door. As you shove it, and it slowly pushes and comes to a stop at like a 90-degree angle, with the sword going into a hole on the wall on the opposite side of the door, like the excess of the sword. And as you step in, you notice sort of like this musty smell as you step into this completely unlit corridor with a staircase going downwards. And that's where we're going to end the session today.
I just realized I don't know if anyone else can see in the dark.
I have
You're in a
60
elf.
feet dark
I
vision.
think I think I
So-
have dark vision, but I don't know
Okay.
enough.
All right.
Sorry, that wasn't really engaging, by the way, today.
Fine.
We did.
What actually happened in the end? We entered that guy's house.
You entered the house, investigated a little bit, found a secret door, figured out how to open the secret door, and began to walk down the corridor that revealed itself.
Okay. Thank you, because
There'll
I
be a re-
genuinely had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
There's
I
going to
have
be
a
a recording
recording.
put up that'll cover everything.
Anything else anyone has to say before I stop it?
Gay, homosexual, gay.
Me too.
Oh, mood.
Me too, bitch. Damn.
Mood.
All right. Well, I hope you guys had fun. I'm sorry to Orange that you're having a bit of a rough day. I hope you feel better soon.
I also hope you
Thank you.
better soon.
Thank you. For once in the past few weeks, it's not my wrist, it's my head.
Don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Yes.
All right. I am going to dip because dinner has been ready for an hour and I'm really hungry.
Oh,
Oh.
go get your
I hope-
food.
All right.
Stopping the recording.
Very good.